factor completely. Here we have a polynomial, a trinomial, that has a coefficient of 1, so we can still use the X puzzle, but we have an added challenge of an extra variable. But let's ignore that extra variable for right now, and let's just deal with the number part of this trinomial. Because I still have that coefficient of 1, I can use this puzzle again when we put the 2 at the top of our X. So we're looking for two numbers that add up to 2. And we put a negative 120 at the bottom. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to this negative 120. So let's look at all the possible factors of 120. So we have 1 times 120. Because this number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, it's divisible by 2. So we know that 2 times 60 is going to give us the 120. If we add the sum of the digits, 1 plus 2 plus 0, we get 3. And 3 is divisible by 3, so this whole number is divisible by 3. So we go 3 times 40. The divisibility rule for 4, if the last two digits is divisible by 4, then the whole number is divisible by 4. So 4 goes into 120 30 times. Then we can do 5, because it ends in 0 or 5. 5 goes into 120 24 times. We know 6 goes into 120 because this 120 is divisible by 2 and 3. So if a number is divisible by 2 and 3, then it's divisible by 6. So 6 times 20 is 120. 7, we try and it doesn't work. And then we go to the next one, 8 times 15. And for some of them, sometimes it's just easier to use a calculator to find the combination. 9 doesn't go. And then the next one would be 10 times 12. So we're looking for one of these combinations that's going to give us a 2 at the top. So we see that this one's going to be that combination that we need. So we need a 10 and a 12. Now, we need a negative number here at the bottom. So we have to have one number that's positive and one number is negative. Because the top number is positive, then I'm going to make my 12 a positive number and my 10 a negative number. Because negative 10 plus 12 gives me the positive 2 that I need here at the top. And then negative 10 times 12 gives us that negative 120. So now let's set it up. We put our parentheses here. And we have P and P. But we have this extra Q here at the end. So what we need to put is we need to put a Q down here and a Q at the end over here. Because that, when we multiply Q times Q, we're going to get this Q square at the end. So now we put negative 10 and a positive 12. So again, when you're factoring, it's always a good idea to check your work using the FOIL method backwards. If we multiply it, we need to come up with the original trinomial. So if we multiply P times P, we get P squared. P times 12Q is going to give me a positive 12 PQ. And that's what we need in the center, a PQ combination. And then negative 10Q times P gives us a negative 10 PQ. And negative 10Q times a positive 12Q gives us a negative 120 Q squared. So we combine like terms. We get P squared plus 2PQ minus 120 Q squared. So you can see that if you have an added variable, then we just continue using the X puzzle so we can find the numbers that we need. And then we just have to add a Q at the end so we can come up with the answer that we need. So the factor form of P squared plus 2PQ minus 120Q squared would equal to P minus 10Q times P plus 12Q.